In this video, I'm going to show how to use SPI communication. SPI stands for Serial Peripheral Interface. This happens in between a master and a slave device. Multiple slaves can be connected to the master, and master has to select one of them by pulling this line, slave select line. You can see here this slave 1 is connected over this slave select 1 line. This is connected over slave select 2 line. This is connected over slave select 3 line, and this is connected over slave select 4 line. So master will select with which slave it has to communicate, and it will make that line low for that particular slave. Let's suppose it has to communicate with slave 3. So it will make this line, slave select line 3, low for this slave 3. And this is a 4-wire communication protocol where these two lines, MOSI and MISO line, MOSI stands for master out, means master is sending data, slave in. So here master will send data and slave will receive the data. And second line you see here, MISO. So on this line, master will receive the data, master in, slave out. So slave will send data and master will receive it. So these two lines, MOSI and MISO lines, are used for sharing the data. And this clock line is shared between these two devices, which makes it synchronous communication. Over the clock, data will be transferred. And here master and slave both are having single shift registers of size 8 bits. And these are connected over MOSI and MISO lines. And just a note here, always remember this MOSI line of master will be connected to the MOSI line of slave. It will never happen this MOSI line of master will be connected to the MISO line of slave. Don't think like that. MOSI will be connected to the MOSI and MISO will be connected to the MISO. So it is saying master is sending data and this slave will receive the data. And if you see, this makes it a circular buffer. So on this clock, on a common clock which will be controlled by the master only, suppose this is the master and this is the slave. So this clock will be controlled by this master device. And for 8 consecutive clocks, these 8 bits will be transferred to the slave, and at the same time on the same clock all the 8 bits that is present in this slave will be transferred to the master shift register. So this works in circular manner. That is why it is a full duplex communication. At the same time both devices are sharing the data. Both devices are transmitting as well as it is receiving the data, so it is a full duplex communication. And next one, there are two configurations. One is phase. Phase says on which edge the data will be sampled. The data will be sampled either on leading phase or the trailing phase. Here leading edge is this one and here leading edge is this one. So when phase is 0, data sampling will happen on the leading edge. Here you can see, here data is sampled, again here data is sampled. You can see this one. The transfer of data on MOSI and MISO line is happening here. The sampling is happening here, right? And which decides the leading edge? Leading edge is decided by the polarity. If polarity is 0, then your rising edge is the leading edge. And if the polarity is reverse 1, then your falling edge will be the leading edge. And if you see the phase for 1, if phase is 1, then you can see here the sampling will happen on trailing edge. Where the sampling is happening, it is happening on trailing edge, right? So just remember, polarity is for selecting the leading edge. If polarity is 0, that means your rising edge is the leading edge. And if polarity is 1, so your falling edge will be your leading edge. And this phase decides where the sampling will happen. If phase is 0, the sampling will happen on this leading edge. If phase is 1, the sampling will happen on this trailing edge. So this is clear, right? Let me write the program for Arduino Mega board which we are using as a master. So for master configuration, what we have to configure? We have to configure pins, MOSI, clock and slave select. So these 3 we have to configure as a output. So this is connected with port B second pin. This is connected to port B first pin, and slave select is connected to port B 0th pin. So we have to configure 0, 1 and 2. So let's do that. Data direction register for port B. So simply I am making 7. So it will configure all 3, right? 1, 1, 1. So it will configure all 3. Second thing, we have to configure control register. So in control register, what we have to configure? In control register, we have to configure for, because this is the master. So for master, we have to make the fourth bit 1. This is on fourth bit. And next thing, we have to enable SPI. So SPI we have to enable, which is on 6th bit. And one more configuration we have to do, that is for source selection, clock source. So for that, we can use first 2 bits, 0th and first bit, which is SPR 0 and 1. So these are first 2 bits. So let's configure for this. SPCR SPI control register equals to, so let's make first 2 bits 1. So first 2 bits I made it 1. Then I have to make the fourth bit 1 for master. So I have done that. Next I have to enable 6th bit for SPI. So our SPI will be enabled, and that's all configuration we need. Nothing extra is required. So I'm writing here now to transfer a byte, transmit byte. So for this we need a character, right? So I'm taking a character in input, and simply I'll be writing this to SPI data register. C data I'm writing, and after writing I'll wait for that SPIF bit to be enabled in status register. So let's do that. SPSR SPI status register we have to check, and which bit? The 7th bit is there. 7th bit is for SPIE, or we can use like SPIE, that should also work, not IE, IF, SPI flag. When the transfer will complete, this bit will be 1. Until the time this bit is 0, just wait here, and when the transfer will complete, this will come out from this while loop. Let's write another API to transmit a string. Let's take a string as an argument, and simply go through all characters. So it will reach to the end. So for that, the last character will be null, and start transferring data here. So whatever data you are getting in that string, just transfer it and increment the pointer. So this is done, and in loop, just take a string str and write there sending from master, new line, and just transmit this data. Just calling this API transmit a string, and here I'll pass this string, and we are done. So we have written the program for master. Let me compile it. Compilation has successful. I'm downloading to the Arduino Mega. Arduino Mega is connected now. You can see the USB connection. Downloading now. Yeah, download has complete. Now I'll be writing program for Arduino Uno, which I'll be using as a slave. So in slave side, what we have to configure? We have to configure as MISO for output. So this one we have to keep output, which is connected to 4th pin of port B. So DDR data direction register for port B. Just make it 1. So I made it. This configuration is done. Now one more configuration we have to do for control register, right? So in control register we don't have to do much. We have to enable SPI, which is on 6th bit, and one more bit we have to enable SPIE. So interrupt also we are enabling this time. So SPCR equals to 6th and 7th bit we have to enable. So simply I am writing 3 shifted by 6, so it will enable both. So whenever the transfer will complete, this SPI transfer complete vector will be called, and this interrupt routine will be executed. So here I am simply reading the data, RX data equals to SPDR SPI data register I am reading, and I'll simply print this data, serial.print. I'm just transferring over the UART RX data. So this is done, right? Let me compile it. Okay, now let's download and see whether it's working or not. Okay, I've connected the board. USB connection has come up. Yeah, I've downloaded. The connection already I made. Let me open serial monitor. Yeah, you can see some junk data is coming over here. Some junk data is coming over here. So why it is so? So data is coming, but it is junk. That is not the proper data. The reason is, if you see this connection, I have only made the 4 wires connection. But the problem is here, these 2 boards are not connected with my laptop. Means the ground connection for both development boards are different. Arduino Uno is connected to my laptop now, so it is taking power from my laptop now. So this ground and my PC ground is same, but the other Arduino Mega ground is different now. So let's sort the ground of these two development board. Then this problem should not come. Making that connection for ground, making the common ground actually. I have made the connection because the ground is different, so that voltage level is different for both, and that is the reason we are getting the data like this. So I made the connection for common ground. Let me open the serial monitor. Okay, we are still getting some junk data. So this transfer is so fast, so it is not getting time to write over UART, because this write over UART is taking some extra time and it is losing some data. So that is again another reason. So give some delay in the master and then try. So in the master code, I'm giving some delay. Let's give 1 second delay on every transfer. Let me connect the Arduino Mega board now, which is the master. Yeah, I have connected. Let me download it. Yeah, it is downloaded. Let me connect my Arduino Uno now. Yeah, I have made the connection, and see now you are getting the perfect data. So there were two reasons. One was the ground was not connected. The common ground was the major issue that we resolved. Then we found that the UART communication is making slower. If we remove this line from here, then that will work. There is no problem with that. But while it is printing the data over UART, it is losing some data from its data register. So that was the reason we were getting the wrong data over there. So these type of common issues you might get, and this is not a big problem. You can easily resolve it. That's all for this video. And the reverse side also is very possible. If you transfer from slave to master, that is also possible. The situation will be very similar. What you have to do, you have to send dummy data from the master, and at the same time, because it is a circular buffer, right? So when you transfer dummy data from master to slave, at the same time the actual data from slave to the master will be transferred. So I'm not taking now. If you want me to show that, let me know in the comment box. I'll make a separate video for that, for transferring from slave to the master. You just give a try. If it doesn't work, then let me know in the comment box. I'll try. I'll make a separate video for that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned and I'll see you soon.